All right, y'all. So Bitcoin is pumping like crazy right now. This is the 1 hour chart, and we can see in the past 2 hours, the price of Bitcoin has risen pretty much about 3%, which is quite a bit for Bitcoin after ranging sideways for all weekend. Pretty much, we're really starting to get a big move to the upside. This is my current long position here. You can see it's up over 300%, a pretty high leverage trade, guys. So first, I want to talk about why we got this move to the upside and then what we can look for in the future, because we are heading out of a weekend into the week, and I think we're going to have some very exciting price action coming up. So first of all, the way I got into the long trade, guys, in the VIP Discord on Friday morning, we were looking at this potential chickens drinking water trade setup. So essentially what a chickens drinking water trade setup is if you have a previous low, and then price dips down below that low with bullish divergences, it can result in a move to the upside. So we can see that we did come down below that level, and on market Cipher B, we did get bullish divergences as we reclaimed that level. Okay, so if we come back into the VIP Discord, we can see that we did get our bounce right here. And at first, I'm like, let's lock in profit real quick because I don't know if we're going to get much of a bounce. But then we did get that confirmed 1 hour bullish divergence. And we also, if we take a look here at an order flow chart, we did have bullish CVD. This is a 5-minute chart. We can see as price was making a higher low, changing market structure, we can see that there was some bullish CVD here showing that people were trying to short, but there were whales with large limit orders looking to push the price up. So in that case, basically I held the trade over the weekend as 70x leverage long because we had such strong confirmations on market Cipher and also on the order flow charts. And now, as you can see, that trade is currently in some pretty juicy profits right now. So what is going to happen with Bitcoin? Okay, because we need to understand that right now we are at some pretty critical levels just in general on these charts. So if we go to a daily time frame, right? And by the way, if you do want to join the VIP Discord, you can go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. This is our community here focused on education. We have a thriving community of advanced technical analysts posting trade setups like this one you just saw, as well as the juicy levels, daily updates, as well as multiple live streams a week, live market trading and all that stuff. If we go to a daily time frame, right, we can see that the price of Bitcoin is coming down to some pretty crucial support, which is the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement from the swing low of the March 2020 dump to the all-time high, right? And we came down and we did find some pretty nice support right here on this golden pocket, and we can see that the 618 Fibonacci level has been acting as our support for a very long time right now. Okay, we can see that we put in the low, and then the 618 was our support once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times here on this 4-hour chart. But we also have to understand this within the context of a larger sideways range, which we've also been trading in for pretty much almost a month now, right? And so right now we do need to be aware that before we get overly bearish or bullish, we have to understand the market within this context of this sideways range. Right now, if we are going to get more movement to the upside, we do need to be aware of certain areas of resistance. Number one, take the golden pocket from the low, from the high to the low. We can see that we are coming up to a local area of resistance. So if you're not already in a long trade, and of course this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just the guy who drives and trades, definitely not somebody you should be taking advice from. Somebody who shows you pictures of, I don't know, who knows what, guys. Definitely not a financial advisor. But I would say this, if your paper trade is not already in a long, this is not necessarily the time to be getting into one because we are coming up to areas of resistance, right? Just some areas to be aware of. In addition, until we start to break out of these highs that we put in here, we could see clear support flipped into resistance here. We do need to be aware that it's not necessarily going to be a super fast move up. It's not going to necessarily be a V-shaped recovery all the way back up to 40K until we can get above those highs. We do need to be aware that we could get a rejection from one of those areas of resistance, like the time I was in high school and I tried to ask out this beautiful woman. Her name was Six Juanita, right? 6 Juanita, she was a beautiful girl from Lithuania, a foreign exchange student. I had a crush on her. I thought that she liked me. Turns out that I was in the friend zone and I didn't know it, right? And so when I went to ask her out, I came up to her, and 6 Juanita, right, the 618 right there, she absolutely rejected me, and I came back down to the low of the range. So we do need to be prepared for a rejection from these highs back down to the low of the range. And if that happens, well, there's a few important areas that I think we need to be aware of. And not the least of those is this. Number one, if we take our golden pocket from this low to this high, right, we can see that we already did find support at our good friend 6 Juanita, right? Here's the thing about 6 Juanita. She will absolutely break your heart and reject you, but because you're in the friend zone, she'll be there to offer you support. She'll give you a shoulder to cry on when you're at your lowest point. But speaking of 6 Juanita, we do have to be aware also that if we take a Fibonacci retracement tool from this low that we put in way here on the 12th of May to the high that we put in on the 31st of May, we can see that there she is, 6 Juanita, right here again, potentially giving us some support. So, just be aware that we could do something like this, right? Even be aware that we could do something like this as well. Basically, the purpose here is, do not try and chase price. Instead, wait for price to come to a key area and then look for some confirmations. Now, if we take a look at the daily time frame again, we can see market cipher B is giving us a very interesting signal right here, which is a green trigger wave on the daily, right, where we had what I would like to even call a bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Okay, this is just building a potential bullish scenario here. But from this green dot here to this green dot here, we can see that price did put in a lower low and the momentum put in a higher low. And then what happened was we had a momentum wave come over the zero line for the first time since, March, right? I mean, pretty much all of April and May, all daily momentum was under that zero line. And now we have a wave above the zero line for the first time in almost 2 months. And now we're getting a tight trigger wave right here, right on that zero line. In the context also of trading this entire sideways range here with 4-hour money flow and momentum waves getting higher. In fact, if we just draw a trend line here, we can see that we are following this trend with the momentum waves. We can also see the money flow crossing over. Every time it comes into the blue, it gets thicker here. And we can even see that these momentum waves are getting higher every single time. So it is very possible that we do break out of this range to the upside, but we cannot know that for sure, and which is why we need to make sure to mark our levels and have a plan in advance. And speaking of having a plan in advance, that is what has given me the edge in these markets to be able to come to the charts with a plan in the morning as such, and then trade the plan. And then once it happens, even being able to look at confirmations to see that there's going to be some continuation. This really is what is necessary in order to trade these markets. Otherwise, you're going to be trading on emotion. So if you want to learn how to trade this way, you can check out the course jasoncaspertrading.com. And this course will give you the knowledge and skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader, because it will give you a clear point A to point B comprehensive trading system so that you always know where you're looking to enter a trade, where you should take profit, where your stop loss should be, how to lock in profits, how to use high leverage to basically risk very little money. Like, for example, right now I'm literally only risking technically $600 on this trade, and right now in profit over $2,000. All these different techniques that we use you can learn in the course. And yeah, guys, so I'm actually pretty excited for a potential breakout here, because I did think that this was a pretty bullish low that we put in here. Although I would not be surprised if we come and take that out or even come lower. I'm just objectively speaking, finding support at a macro golden pocket, retesting the 618 with this bullish wick buy up. If we come above these highs, I mean, we have very, very little resistance until we come up to, I would say, around 37.5. That's another 17%. So I'm honestly kind of hoping potentially here to hold this trade another 16% or so, which is why I still have a portion of the trade open, guys, even though I've already taken some profits, as you can see. I still have a portion of the trade open, hoping to hit much higher prices. And so that's kind of where we stand for Bitcoin, guys. We're technically in a sideways market. It is the end of a weekend. We have had a massive blue 4-hour candle right here. Let us see what happens. Can we take out this high? Can we put in a higher high? Can we break out of this range and come back up to 37.5K? It's very, very possible. The next major areas to be looking at for resistance are going to be number 1, the golden pocket retracement coming in at about 31.2. After that, we have this previous high at about 32.4-ish. And then if we can come above that like this and retest it as support and continue that bullish market structure, we really don't have very much, guys, until we come up to this 37.5 area where we have this very important support resistance flip. All right, that's it for this video. Just wanted to make a quick update. God bless all of you. In the name of Jesus the Messiah, I pray everybody is super blessed. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.